All right, thank you for staying with us. We're looking at this story where Reno Omokri is saying that looking after your in-laws is not a man's responsibility, and I wonder if it's a woman's. But you can join the conversation and call us on 081-0764-1679 or 090-241-63440, or you can tweet to us. That's on X at TVC Connect using the hashtag #YourViewOnTVC. Toby, before we went to the break, we were talking about this matter of if the tables were turned and it's the woman's responsibility. And you were talking about the fact that it's for the woman, it's not necessarily finance. It's about showing care to the man's family members. Maybe there is a sick father-in-law or a sick mother-in-law or something just going on. And I was saying that that one is even much more weightier than these finances that we're talking about. Go ahead.
So that's even a different conversation, that when we now bring up and say that it is not a woman's responsibility to take care of the in-laws, it now sounds weird that, but
why not?
Why not?
You become a bad daughter-in-law.
A bad daughter-in-law. But we see that over time, women have been the ones to care and draw close from some women, because I know that the exceptions,
they'll come for you,
that have drawn the family close and has served as an intermediary between
both families,
right? And in that case, she's still looking after, caring for, ensuring that the legacy or the lineage
the woman can do it, why can't the man do the same?
Do you see? But for men, sometimes they see it as financial, being responsible may be termed financial, right? As against other things that involve checking up on your in-laws, things as basic as sending 500 naira credit, right? Like she said, the boats, if it's not big enough, do according to what you can do. But the fact that you're saying that it is not my responsibility means that, guy, selfishness there, your mind, somewhere, where it is that no matter how little, you can't take it or give. You're saying that it is not your responsibility.
He did put the clause to that if you have a lot, that's okay, by all means. But do not feel pressured. A whole lot of men are feeling pressured with the family needs.
Isn't that where he should be having conversation with his wife?
There's this proverb in Yoruba that says, so no matter how much you have, it will still not be enough. So when you're saying that until you have so much, so I think that for individuals, just know how much is what it is that you can give out at the end of the day.
That is why I'm bringing the matter up. Isn't that where you should be having conversation with your wife as it is to know how you guys can handle this matter?
Let me bring in this angle of nurturing and how, because it is not financial, we take it for granted that the woman isn't giving. Because whenever we have conversations around marriage and the funding part comes into it, the complaint is the man is spending money, but we're not talking about the fact that the woman is spending her time, her life, her body, nurturing that relationship. Nurturing the man, nurturing the man's family. How often have you ever seen it happen that a man will go and stay with his in-laws in the hospital when they are not feeling fine? Doesn't happen. But it is expected.
In rare cases.
God forbid, rarely. God forbid that your in-laws are sick. The man's parents are not feeling fine. It is not a conversation. The woman
takes up that responsibility even before the man even begins to speak about it.
Even when it comes to nurturing older parents, it's the woman's job. It's not even the man's job. So when we trivialize nurturing in the game of making money, that's why we are having a breakdown inside the family system. All the women are going to go and make money. Who will take care of the children? Who will take care of the aged? Because all of you are saying our nurturing is nothing. All this you are loving and cooking is not.
They take the aged to homes. They take the aged to homes.
Raising our children, and
how many people really like it? Yes.
Women, older people are being abandoned because the men and the women are both hustling for the cheddar, because the woman's nurturing is not being respected and acknowledged.
Not valued.
It's not valued. And that is it.
Yes. How much do you even want to pay for all that?
How can you put money to the fact that somebody will sit
So
down?
everything,
How much?
bottom line, is not money. That's
It's
what
not
we're...
money. If you spend money on my family, I'm spending kindness on yours. I am nurturing you. So you might end up taking care of my whole family as your responsibility, but my whole family will be sending you favor, blessing, and kindness, and they'll be giving you goodwill. And they'll be praying for you, which is making you succeed. You know, there's something about this. For such a time as this, you have been blessed so that you can lift your entire family and your in-laws' family. Who knows whether tomorrow it is their own family. We've had people call into the show and say, oh, my elder brother paid my school fees all through school, and now I'm sending his children abroad. If they did not pay your school fees, how will you send their own? So, well, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a transactional relationship, but kindness, you know, taking care of our family, that's what we are known for. And even though it is not convenient, even though we are feeling like, oh, look at the Americans, they're just you, my mommy, my husband, wife, and children, and you want that. I can travel. I'm traveling in a few days' time because I have my parents. My husband can comfortably go out when I'm not around because he knows that if he calls his in-laws, they will be around to take care of the children. What if we don't take care of them? Then we're doing ourselves a disservice.
And so this... Okay, ask the question.
Reno did not say that you should not take care of your in-laws. He said if you can afford it, do it. But if you cannot afford
The emphasis he placed is more on not doing it.
That is what he said. That was the headline that the blog took. You know, blog.
I read the message now. The emphasis.
The fastest route to poverty is marrying a woman who believes her family.
Why did he begin that way, if that is not his message?
Because he's saying that entitlement, there's a difference between responsibility and being benevolent. If you
Tell me the difference, please.
If you say that Toby is my responsibility, my job is to look after her, check up on her, to ensure that everything is going on with her physically and mentally and all of that. But if it's not my responsibility, if it's not officially my responsibility, if I just check up on Toby once in a while, Toby, how are you?
So would he want that at his old age, or when he has? We are talking. Would you, as an individual, want that for yourself? That your son got married, and then we are seeing this matter of, oh, we don't want to take you as a responsibility. Would we like that?
It is not his responsibility to ensure, but it is out of his benevolent heart. Because responsibility leads to entitlement. When you're saying you're responsible for this, you're responsible for this, then the other party becomes entitled to say, you are entitled to raise me, you're entitled to nurture me, you're entitled to do. I know that there's some things that you should do out of common sense. For example, you go to your
what is now common sense?
You're supposed to carry something, you know, drink.
Your in-laws should not be hungry.
Aren't you taking that as a responsibility?
Should not
run out of common sense.
Why is it this one that you're bringing for me? Shouldn't you have brought this one for me? Shouldn't you have brought?
I get your perspective. It's the abuse that she's addressing. She's addressing
the matter of abuse. And that is why I keep coming back to this position of, that is where both parties, the husband, the wife, should communicate. Let's talk about it.
Talk about it so that...
No, it's different from what...
choke me when I want to die.
It's different from what Reno is saying. Reno is planting a seed.
No, some men actually don't know how to express that they don't have, because, you know, a lot of men derive their manliness from their ability to provide. So that man is going through the pressure.
This kind of conversation is what you should have before you get married.
So the man is going through pressure. Today I'm paying school fees, tomorrow I'm paying house rent, next tomorrow I'm paying, and he doesn't have and is unable to express it, which is bad. So men should express. If you feel like the bills from your wife's family is a whole lot for you at that point in time, show your wife your account balance. I don't understand you're married. You are hiding it with one another, but you are hiding bank account.
You are touching a sensitive area for most men.
Yeah, why would you be hiding it? Because I wouldn't ask you for money when I know how much you have in your account. I won't, because I can see that there is not much. But if I don't know, then I'm going to be... I'll assume you're balling.
Even when they know, some women will say, a man like you,
give me that
this
one
is
now.
what you can afford. But for me, I also do think that as a woman, take care of your family too.
Have your own money.
Have your own.
And that's why all of us are on the streets now.
Yeah, have your own, right? Such that if the guy is saying, this is what I have, I cannot really, a woman should
my money is my money, your money is our money that extends to the family as well.
But woman, out of the one that is allocated to you, do for your family too, because there are some people also, upbringing also matters. Where it is that some people are not naturally inclined to just give.
Yes.
Some spouses are the ones that prompt, some wives are the ones that prompt their husbands to say, give your mommy something now. And in their mind, they're like, my family first. So there are women that would actually go out of their way to actually now prompt
the husband.
This husband of theirs to give. And so understand the spouse that you have. Should they be giving something? Yes. But at the end of the day, if your husband cannot or does not remember, because there are some people that say, once I leave this house, or once I get married like this, I'm not going to look back. Or there are some people that are so busy that they don't remember. As the wife, your responsibility also is to ensure that all family members, and again, one of the things I say is that if you are doing for family A, in-law A, you must do for the other in-law. Balance it. Don't let it be like, we're always giving my parents. And then, so whatever it is you are giving these parents, give this other parent too. So it doesn't seem, even if they have, even if they are well-to-do or they are okay, right? Because one of the things that does is that it balances the atmosphere in the room and nobody's feeling cheated. Nobody's feeling cheated. After all, Shebi, you did this one for your husband, your brother. Me, if I get brother, give it for him.
Well, it's also, that's also why we work so hard, so that nobody will call me out and say my parents are becoming a burden for you, because I have enough money to take care of my parents, you know. And we're now getting to a season where many marriages, husbands and wives are competing as opposed to collaborating, because you don't want somebody to insult you. You don't want anybody to say that, oh, your family's wala is too much. Every day, collect. Well, you will not know when I'm giving to my family, so you cannot insult or bring any insult towards my family. I have enough to take care of my family, as opposed to collaboration. So there are different ways. When you're already married, you have already entered into this boat. So let your husband be the captain and earn enough to be able to take. If your husband is one that shares Reno Omokri's perspective, which is, I'm not responsible for your entire family, then make enough money so that whatever you're giving to your family does not affect doesn't affect your first primary family, because you know your primary family is now husband and wife. So have become one. Your parents have become secondary family, and what we should acknowledge that part, but they're also very important.
Absolutely.
So a woman should make enough money to take care of the family, and yet not be impacting the primary constituency. Yes,
it's important that at this point, let me quickly say this, that if you know that perhaps as a man getting married, my parents or the woman's parents is going to be a challenge for you, settle your family before you get married. How do I mean? If your father, your mother is still active, or the father or the mother of the lady is still active, perhaps you set up a small business for them that they can just do, right?
Investment. Oh, you are coming to my...
I'm coming to your...
Yes. So she's speaking your lingua franca.
Sorry. Let me land. Let settle them such that you know that, okay, it's not become a burden for you. You can always just check on them when necessary. How's the business going? What do you need? And all of that. If you say it will be a burden for you, you can address that before you get married. It's important. And then you and your wife must have conversations with regards to what should we do for our families on a regular basis, perhaps monthly, quarterly, whatever, as it is. I and my husband, we look at that. We sit there, okay, what should we do for this person at this point? Who needs immediate help at this point? What can we do? It is important to have conversations so you don't see it as... Yes, so you don't see it as a responsibility or a burden. She wanted to slam me. Okay.
So I wanted to address, because I've been having this conversation from the perspective of relationship, not from the perspective of financial
Expert.
Oh, yeah, financial experts. But the truth is, you can plan your finances, and it's important. Financial discipline is required for you to achieve true growth, which is what she was saying, that you can't pull somebody up when you are not even standing. So you have to find a way to balance it. I advise people to have a budget for family, that we know that this is the amount I'm going to be giving to family members if they have their needs. And if the budget is exhausted, you are going to join us next month. God will preserve you till next month when you'll be able to fit into our budget, except unexpected funds come in. As well, Rick Ross said that none of his family members have asked him for money. I addressed this in my Money Monday about empowering people. And why is it that no family member has asked Rick Ross for money? Is because he had set all of them up. He said his siblings are millionaires. Each of his siblings are millionaires. That he invested, he helped them to
Linda
invest
Ikeji
wisely.
did similar thing.
He put money for them. He said his mom is a millionaire. His siblings, everyone
Empowering everybody.
He has empowered all his family members. Nobody asked him for money. And it is possible for us to do that. I know that it's easy to say, oh, family members, the person is lazy. They don't want to do anything. Create an investment structure that pays them. So you have people that will say, I have this boss every week, or this hailing car pays my parents money every week. So this is an investment that funds them. I have this house. The house rent takes care of my parents. This house rent. So you can create an investment vehicle in planning financially that sorts out all these things. But if you don't have the money to create this financial vehicle, create a budget for them on a monthly basis.
Damola, you wanted to say something to me. I'm listening.
While I understand this strategy of investing in your family members so that they do not keep coming back, there are some people that do not have that business acumen to sustain that business.
You know their strength.
You give them the money and then they would squander it. I remember one uncle that used to come to my daddy then. After he started
First
the farm,
business.
bang, boss,
second business,
crashed. The third one,
business.
he came again. So I know those kind of family members that they just think that there's a well that you are taking money from. So it is, just do what you can do, because takers will not stop taking. It is you that will now set that boundary. And you, as a wife, I think it is very disrespectful if you let your whole family members depend on your husband, because he will not respect
He's become their elder brother.
No, he will
Or
not
relative,
respect-
or
he will
brother,
not
whatever.
respect them. For example, if something happens, maybe you have a small quarrel, and then he should be scared that you would tell your parents, or you would report him to your mom, or if his mother-in-law calls him, he would. But if he's the one feeding, putting money on the table, feeding everybody,
Nobody can talk to him.
nobody can talk to him. He's going to be so disrespectful, unless the man has common sense and has the fear of God, that he will not allow him providing for your family members to cause any kind of disrespect. But if you don't want to see, to avoid see finish, just, put a I'm not saying that you should not allow your husband do things for your parents, but don't make it a situation whereby the father will be calling, hey, my in-law, hey. That one, sorry, no disrespect to any tribe because of the
accent you use.
But it is disrespectful for your dad to call you. So then, hey, that's money that I asked you about. Next week, they will come again. Upper week, they will come again.
Let me quickly address the idea of
No,
investment.
I need her to quickly perhaps take some comments before we come back to
So
this
Ganil
matter.
Karim, this is on YouTube. Ganil Karim says, now you guys are talking. As a woman, you should try and make your own money and take good care of your family instead of choking your husband with bills.
Again.
Truth is Truth says, I like when we're truthful and objective to really deal with this issue. Let us deal with the subject and not the messenger. It makes the discussion interesting and educative. Right? Gani also says, Mr. Rano did not say you shouldn't take care of your in-laws, but making it a responsibility is what he is against. He said if you can afford it, you should.
So I wanted to talk about the investment thing. Like, if you realize that a person you're trying to help set up a business doesn't have capacity for business, then get the person employment. Let the person be productive. You know.
Look for their strengths.
If you search deep enough,
closely,
you will find something that person can do. I think that sometimes it is easy to throw money at situations than have a conversation to find what the person can do. If the person comes, okay, take this 10,000 naira, go and start. And you did not even find out what will you do with the 10,000 naira. When it comes to mentorship, you don't find out from the person. I had a conversation with someone and I said, you are in the wrong line of business based on your temperament. I don't think that this is what you should be doing. The person was coming to me for real estate growth. And from all our conversation, I knew that this thing will kill you. So what are the other things that you can do, that you have done, that worked for you? So helping the person, it took me more. It's easy for me to just say, go and be marketing, go to the estate. That's easier for me to do. But having to help that person navigate where the strength is. It's not everybody that will run a business successfully. Some people, they will just be, you will put the business in their name, but they have no say in how the business is run. Because if they do, they will chop the business to the ground. So you would structure it in a way that it will fund them, but it will not, they won't have that ability to crumble it. And something is even kindness. Some people will have business, and the reason the business would continue to die is because they will continue to dash everybody everything they have in their business. Family coming, you don't choose your family. You don't. You can choose your husband, but you cannot choose your people that you are born into, the family you're born into. So when you find yourself in a situation and you now say you don't want to see them or you reject them, you are cutting yourself out. And God has put you in that family for a purpose. You're supposed to be a light there and guiding and supporting them. So avoiding the responsibility, avoiding responsibility will mean that you are creating a disservice for them. I'm into finance. Nobody in my immediate family should be worried about how they should invest their money. Even friends, they call me, what can I do with this? What can I do with that? That's because I am shining my light to help them out.
Right. So, you can help in various ways.
Yes, it doesn't have to be financial.
Right. We always limit our thoughts about helping people to it being financial. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond that, yeah.
People sacrificed to get you where you are now. So the fact that you are out of that space of depending on them and you don't want to look back, I think it's very, very unfair. Where it is that you would have seen your parents doing some things, maybe drinking garri or not wearing good clothes because they're sending you to school. You've now made it. Your spouse has now made it. You've now married a rich guy. You are now saying that you don't want it to be your responsibility. So when they were caring for you, because their parents,
they could have chosen not to make you their responsibility as well.
They would have chosen themselves also. And now, because you now have a form of comfort, you are now saying they are your responsibilities, and to make them your responsibility is wrong. How? How did we get here? We were raised as, there was a generation that sacrificed. So how it is that now we're saying that we cannot, because they now seem like a burden or responsibility. He didn't say that they are a burden,
right?
I'm just saying, because some people will be like...
You should choose your responsibility, bottom line.
What about those in-laws that, because I want to cite this guy's example now, Mikel Obi, you know, when he had that conversation during the podcast. He said, some people would marry into your family because of you, because they think that you have the financial prowess to take care of them. Is that fair?
That's where you should be discerning before you get married.
That is what we are talking about here.
No, that's not
that extreme cases.
That's not what...
That's what you think they're extreme cases. A lot of these things happen. And you'll find some men that are just depressed because of the kind of...
so we have made marriage become transactionary.
That they have to carry. In fact, what you mentioned earlier about... disclosing something about your wife. I had to tell one of my older brothers that, because in their house you have the family members of the wife, the sister, the sister's child. And because they are in the US, they have, you know, they're sending their kids to school. You know, somebody say, my son is coming to
the US,
he's in the uni here. So it's now a large house. And the cost of feeding is high, electricity, water. And he was complaining.
That's why you have to change your mind.
You need to communicate this thing to your wife. Tell her that.
I mentioned this earlier. Communication.
No be press me there.
But when you now go and communicate such a thing to the wife, and then
she's not understanding.
She says, it's your responsibility now. I don't care, it's your responsibility. My family member is your responsibility. So what should the husband do? Should he die? There are some men that you should...
No, he should not die.
You think that, this man is such a calm man, but the things that are
in his head.
Calculating, how will I feed this? How will I feed that? How will I feed that?
I think communication helps in most cases.
So that's bottom line. It does.
Reached out to me recently. TMO, come on, do Kineko, invest in my business or something. I say, I now sent him, I did a voice note explaining. I said, I have 3 locations that if I don't fence it, there's crisis. I see the screen munch screen of a conversation I've had. I said, I have investors that I must pay in January. I explained. When he finished, he said, wow. Toko, you're trying. And it is well. They praying for me. He was not praying for me.
Right.
The conversation changed because I gave information.
Very
but
good.
if you don't give information, assumption will be that I could just have replied and said, I'm sorry, I cannot help you financially. End of discussion. But by explaining the reality of my current finances, he was able to understand that she cannot help out now because she also has a lot. So if you tell family members, they might not believe you, but you know in your heart of hearts that you have done your best. You are helping as much as possible. I don't think that anybody you know should go to bed hungry. Things like food.
Don't make
food
important. Yes.
And food is a big deal in this
So,
economy now.
with regards to communication, I think we need to touch on this matter of approach. How you approach your communication towards your partner, for instance, why the person is not understanding, why the person is not seeing things with you. It's critical how you approach things. You don't just throw it at the person and say, oh, I don't have as it is, and so this is the issue. Look at my bank balance.
Is it everybody you open up?
You don't know some kind of financial.
Not everybody.
It's not everybody you open up to.
It's not, you have to trust the person, but we are talking about a husband and wife, relationship as it is right now. How you approach things. There are times you can speak with your wife. There are times when you know that, oh, she's in the right frame of mind, you will speak with her and she will understand. There are times you speak with the mind. Oh, goodness. There are times you speak with the man and he will understand. So it's about knowing your partner and knowing the right time to communicate with them such that they can see things with you as it is with regards to whether they can help or not. It's critical.
It is all these kind of conversations that say, that stipulate that it is your responsibility. Those lines, those are the ones that actually put pressure on the man.
So I think it is wrong.
We should let them know that, okay, as much as it is not your responsibility, you should be able to use your common sense to do what you can per time. I'm not saying be stingy or anything. In fact, I hate stingy people around me. But at the same time, I'm not going to give away everything I have.
Exactly.
When I also need it. So nobody is saying do not take care of your in-laws, do not show up.
It's just that they are not your responsibility.
Yeah, it is not official. My child is my responsibility because the child was jejely sitting in heaven when I went.
When you went to bring him
something to bring the child. So that is my responsibility to ensure that okay, this child is well nurtured, well taken care of, goes to school. But my mother-in-law. It's not my responsibility.
Even for children, we qualify it.
Is your father your responsibility?
My father is my responsibility. Because
so how is your mother-in-law not your responsibility when you're married to that family?
I was supporting you before.
As in, she just scattered this whole thing.
But I will always show up.
Your mother-in-law is your husband's responsibility.
It's your mother. Your father is your father.
Stop.
I was saying it this week. I said, next week, my husband is becoming a PhD doctor. They say, when did Mark go? I say, it's not Mark. I mean, William Sodige, my husband's elder brother, has finished his PhD. He's my husband. My husband's elder brother. He's Okomini.
Yes, now you're married to the family.
His doctorate degree is our doctorate degree. My husband is becoming a doctor. Dr. William Sodige, we're going to celebrate. So that's the same way. So if I'll not say that this person is not my family. When we were having burial, my mother-in-law's burial, there were lots of, we have family members that the bills you can't split the bills to all the children equally.
Yes.
Because we don't earn equally.
Yeah.
We don't earn equally. And you will not say, oh, because we have money, we will wear lace of kiniko 1,000 and then somebody else will wear lace of kiniko 1,000. No, we all want the same thing.
Yes.
Everybody.
What everybody can afford.
Income. That is what a family is about. So everybody, even to the point we did okuku. So
it means we are losing the essence of family.
Especially immediate family.
Let me paint a scenario for you. A boat is about to capsize.
Leave this boat.
I don't understand. This boat is...
We are going to float.
Your mother-in-law is there, your child is there, and you need to rescue one person. Who would you rescue?
Rescue everybody.
You cannot rescue everybody, because you do not have that capacity. You
That is a different scenario, Damola.
That's like, okay, fire is burning, so you
would
want to
you
carry
know
out. They say you should first carry yourself out, then come back.
Then you can come back and rescue anybody.
You know
But
what?
the issue is, what we are saying is this.
The
I
mother-in-law.
will do what I can to save her.
Your
Don't
mother-in-law is your mother.
No,
It's not in-law.
the
It's your
mother-in-law.
mother.
The
It's your
mother-in-law
mother.
should back the child. Then you will rescue the mother. So
All of
that
it
way, all
together,
of you are safe.
Don't
Don't put us inside the tight corner. Don't put us inside. No, that's different. That's a
This is
different
what,
case.
Damola,
It's a
your
different
mother-in-law
case.
is your mother.
It's a different case.
Perfectly. There are some mother-in-laws that can be a pain in the ass.
And there are some mother-in-laws that are sweet
You should see.
angels.
Then you should learn human management skills. How to
Because
manage
your own
people.
mother self can be.
Yes. Yes.
you
We are
manage
not all
and you manage your
perfect.
mother.
We are not all perfect.
No. If she comes today, my daughter, you need to give me money for this, give me money for that, give me money for, and she's really depleting my.
Nima is watching us and she's saying,
What am I supposed to
she's
do?
supporting Damola. Her mother-in-law is not her responsibility.
Nima is speaking. No
But
wahala.
then for my child, I know that, okay, I need to pay school fees. I need to ensure that he eats. Okay, he wears this, he wears that. But for my mother-in-law, I would only do what I can do per time. But in a situation where my mother-in-law is not expecting me to carry all the responsibility on my head.
You're shouldering it alongside your husband.
Yeah.
It's not like it's
You're
only
shouldering
you.
it
You are working
alongside
as
your
a team.
husband.
But
Even
I believe in putting context, even with children. Like I've always gone back to, nobody should be hungry. Every other thing is Jara. I tell my children, I say, what I owe you.
Food is even basic.
What I owe you, good education and food. Even in the food, it does not include pizza, ice cream, and kineko. It is food, core food, not snack, not luxury trips abroad. I don't owe you luxury trips abroad. You will make your money and enjoy the trip by yourself.
Because I don't want anybody to come and use luxury trip to come and entice
They did not take me on luxury trip abroad. I took myself.
No, but you are taking your children now, which is good. It's an improvement from the past.
So they're like, but food, everybody around me must chop.
Was it?
Yeah, we must.
Okay.
So I think,
It's very
Bottom line.
and
But
the
there's bottom line.
way we see these things too
Matters.
does not mean that
So-
the other person is wrong. So it may just be a function of the way you were raised
Perspective and all.
and the way you see life. And I don't think that either of us is wrong or whatever. It just feels that you're seeing through a different lens.
But
and I
that
think
is
that
your
there are
view.
other people also
That's why it's
that
your
have
view,
had
Abi.
varying experiences that say, even my father said, if you know be my father, God just used him as a channel
As a
to bring
channel,
into
yeah.
because
Yeah,
there's
some children will disfather
they
their
just brought
fathers
me
and
into
mothers
this
and
as
all
a
of that.
channel into this world. So there are
Right.
people that have those
But
experiences.
this is how
also.
we lose our values as a
Exactly.
people. It's important we know
No right from wrong.
that what
how
is
to
right
avoid
from
frustration.
wrong. It is not a matter of avoiding frustration. As much as it lies within you, do what you can as a responsible person. Take care of people. It's important. And if you're having a family member that is having a sense of entitlement, speak to them. You have a right to speak to them. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, really.
Put them in their
their
position.
it's a-
We are happy. See, it's
When you now tell them that it is not my responsibility to do this thing, but I'm doing it out of my good heart.
No,
to
but
you.
see-
So don't feel entitled.
Yeah, I tell my children, say, if you're talking
how do you warn those entitled people? You
By
need
the
to
time I'm hearing-
specifically state it to them. It is not my responsibility.
By the time they-
What I
That's
do is out of my good heart.
By the time they come
so
and meet me-
appreciate it. Don't come and choke me.
My kids will say, Mommy, we've not had pizza in like 3 weeks. I say, I don't owe you pizza. Are you hungry? You have
There's food.
eaten. You have eaten a bar. I want
No, you are
biscuits.
trying to
I
teach
say, you
them
can
how
eat
to
rice.
eat healthy.
I said, as
just
long as you are not
moderation.
hungry, I don't owe you snack. I don't eat. All of those ones are born out of excesses and largesse. If I don't have it, you're not gonna get it. And I think that applies to everybody around you. If you come and meet me and say, TMO, I don't have wig. I don't owe you wig. I am wearing wig because I have worked very hard,
For a
sacrificed many things. I can wear it. You have not reached the level yet. Continue working. That's the thing. We have to be on.
You know, sometimes I even make a joke with Toby. You know, sometimes when we are joking, say, let me take this one now, or do this one for me now. I'll be like, am I firing you?
That is
And
where.
I'll say, oh yeah, it's just a simple joke now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That that is us even still joking. So
Joking.
now bringing it to
Yeah.
real life, you need to spell it out.
People
to
don't
people
say
that
what's
know.
in their
Exactly.
mind,
This
and
is
they
how
don't.
it is.
Yes, you must create boundaries. Boundaries are good. Boundaries are healthy
But that
for
boundaries
relationships.
does not mean you should be selfish,
Of course.
and doesn't mean you should be entitled.
Sister, I was talking to somebody. She said that when they go to the village, that she married into a big family. They're like about 5 boys. When they go to whenever they're in the village for Christmas, when you are in the room, it's not your room. This is family house. They just open
Yeah,
the
so-
door in the morning. Come downstairs now. Like even if you are, you just open the door. So when we are in the village, nothing happens because it's a very tight-knit family. He said you can cook for your husband, or you prepared something and you brought it, and the next thing, one brother will just take a spoon and put it into your husband's plate. So the conversation around that level of bond, she had to create boundaries in that marriage. She had to tell them that, see, the family I came from, we don't open doors like this on people. Like, we knock before you come into the room. And when you want to eat with your brother, because all of you eat together in the same plate, these are the ways we can go about it. You will let me know so I will make it full for everybody. So it's about creating that sense of small, respect me, I respect you. We give each other a little bit of that respect so that we'll be able to enjoy our relationship long. A few years ago, I used to say that in-laws are sweeter, or relationship with in-laws are sweeter when it is far apart. I see you like once in 3 months. Welcome home. If I'm seeing you every weekend,
Yeah, I'm coming again.
Okay, it happens that we have a caller now. Lucky is calling from Ayobot. Lucky, good morning. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, I really enjoy you guys for your work you are doing.
Thank you.
And I think for your right of there, you're looking after in-law. There's something missing there. Not just ordinary in-law, father-in-law or mother-in-law. You can put it father-in-law or mother-in-law. No, it's just like a father to you. It's two-sided father. Father-in-law also means as your father, or mother-in-law also means as your mother. You way you can take care of your parents, and then you also can take care of your in-law, father-in-law. The moment you got married to a woman, automatically you are having two father or you are having two mother. If your biological father is still alive or mother is still alive, the way you take care of them, you can also take care of them. And to me, if you have what it takes to elevate them for envy on their suffering, you will not take anything for you. It's a plus. They will ever remain faithful to you. They will ever remain faithful to you when you can elevate them for every challenge they pass through.
elevate them from
So
every challenge.
as a man, the moment you make up your marriage, automatically you are taking responsibility of that woman to yourself.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you for your contribution. Well, bottom line for me in this conversation, if you're married to your wife, your husband, you guys should have conversations with regards to how to manage your families, bottom line, such that they are not seemingly a burden to your primary family. Do what is necessary for them. I see them as a responsibility. It's your responsibility to take care of them on both sides. It is not a burden for one person. It is both the husband and wife who have become one that should carry the responsibility. So you don't just push it to one person or push it to the other person. Discuss, have a conversation. What can we do? And you can take it up